My name is Sean Edwards. I work for one of the major cargo airline in the U.S., and my job is aircraft maintenance technician. So we're responsible for maintaining the airplanes or repairing the airplanes when they're broke. So before it was even disclosed from the city or the state or the federal government that we were essential workers, the company came out with a letter notifying us that we were actually essential workers. So eventually, we learned from the state and the city that we were considered essential workers. Just like almost any government agency, country, the company was kind of unprepared for this. So their response was a little behind the virus. So at first, they had gloves, stuff like that, but nothing else. So after a while, they eventually caught up. They stocked up, so we were stocked up on gloves, the hand sanitizers, and they eventually got some masks. First, they got some fabric masks, the blue surgical masks that you see a lot of people wearing. And then eventually they got the N95, so everybody was just see the N95 mask. That's in my department at least. So the extra precautions I take starts at home. I basically eat at home, so that takes me through my shift. I don't have to eat at work or spend any extra time in the lunchroom or break rooms. When I get to work, we park in a remote area, and you need to take a 5-minute shuttle ride into the facility. I skip that step and walk to work. It takes about 10, 15 minutes to walk to the facility. When I get there, I have two lockers, one for my street clothes and one for my work clothes. So I don't mix the two. The work clothes stay in one locker, the home clothes go in another locker. While at work, I try to minimize my time in the break room or amongst my coworkers, no congregating, and I don my mask at all time. And I get home, I leave my clothes, my street clothes, in the garage, and basically quarantine that. At first, definitely, because just like everywhere else, I don't think the company was prepared for this pandemic. Eventually they caught up, providing some PPE, masks, gloves, and sanitizers. But at first, no, I didn't think I was. We had about 10 of our um, colleagues in my department that got the virus. That's 10 out of 80. And the whole facility has about 2,000 people. And, the company wasn't very transparent with how many people actually had the virus or contracted the virus. We learned that about 10 of our coworkers, not in my department, but about 10 of our coworkers that passed away from the virus. So at first, no, but now they have been doing a lot more. So I do feel a little safer now. Now that we have learned a lot, over the course of the 2 months, I'm quite sure there are some measures that can be taken so some of these places can reopen, but it got to be taken seriously, and people got to realize. I know it's fortunate. I am in a fortunate position where I am bringing in some income, but without your help, the income means nothing. So once you take the necessary precautions to, prevent the spread of the disease, then I'm all for, opening back. But the governor is doing a good job, so I'll let him continue doing that job.